With regard to Chelsea, I mean, it's a disgrace, isn't it? It's genuinely a disgrace.
Did it finish 4-1? We were going live. 4-2.
Thiago Silva scored late.
Oh.
The trouble is, there isn't really anything surprising about this. Gary ONeil is a better manager than Mauricio Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino is completely out of his depth. He doesn't deserve the job. We've employed a Tottenham manager and we've turned into Tottenham. It's what's happened. And if you look at what Gary ONeil has done at that team, not only, in fact, at Wolves, but what he did prior to that at Bournemouth, he has the ability to totally galvanise a team, to make them fight, to make them hungry, and to make them a team all pulling in the same direction. Mauricio Pochettino hasn't improved Chelsea since Frank Lampard was manager.
No, I can't think of one single standout player, really. Obviously, Cole Palmer a little bit here and there.
No, but don't do that.
But that's individual brilliance.
Don't justify that. Because what I think people do, and I don't get it, but I feel like almost accidentally, Booth, you've tapped into this trend that protects Pochettino. There seems to be, when you think about the criticism that's previously been levelled at Eric Ten Hag, or the criticism that has previously been levelled at Mikel Arteta a couple of years ago when they were losing at home to Burnley. The way that we all treated, not me, but you two, certainly treated Frank Lampard. The way that you treated Graham Potter. I don't think that anybody holds Mauricio Pochettino to the same standard.
He's a better coach than both of them.
Why is he?
He is. His record speaks for itself. He took Tottenham to a Champions League final. Obviously, I'm not going to count.
Better than who? Sorry, who did we say?
He's better than Graham Potter and he's better than Frank Lampard.
Yeah,
yes,
but he's got a better history at the moment.
But
he plays better football.
But it's not better. When?
Going off his previous history, that's the reason why you improve.
Graham Potter's Brighton played better football than any team Pochettino's been at.
I don't know about
No, not Tottenham. Not about Spurs.
Particularly good football, that Tottenham team.
They were good. They were scintillating at points. Especially
scintillating.
They were. At White Hart Lane, they were incredibly hard to play against. No, I'm not saying it to wind you up, Royals, honestly. They were good, man.
They were good. You don't get to a Champions League final just because of luck.
Did you watch their run to the Champions League final? I think they proved that you can get there just because of luck. Did you watch that game against Ajax?
No, yes I did, but that's not luck. They fought all the way to the end and scored.
Yeah,
come on, Rory, come on.
It was the luckiest run. It was unquestionably the luckiest run to a Champions League final.
Mauricio Pochettino's Tottenham was a force to be reckoned with. They were a good team, and that's what you lot thought he was getting.
No,
they were a good team, not great. They were a good team.
They were a team who won nothing, which I think is very important. They were a team that repeatedly bottled it when it really was there for them. When they had the opportunity of winning the league,
of course,
they didn't. When they had the opportunity of winning the cup, they didn't. When they had the opportunity of winning the Champions League, they didn't. And if they were as good as you're saying, I would take issue with it. But if they're as good as you're suggesting, then it's shocking management to have a team as good as you're saying they were and win no silver.
The great sides have to win with that talent. The great sides have to win. They were a good side. They were a really good. They weren't a great of Premier League era, but they were one of the best Spurs sides in the last 30 years.
Two things that really wind me up with Pochettino. Firstly, I don't think he's a very good manager, but I don't think people call it out. And why they don't call it out, I think, is an interesting one. Why aren't the back pages full of people exploring the benefits of Chelsea sacking Mauricio?
Because he hasn't really done anything bad to get called out.
No, but it's getting to the point now. It's bad.
Wolves have just done the double over.
This is the issue, Miles. It is an issue.
Yeah, now, but before that, he's not really a bad manager. Now it's looking bad. It's because you're losing to Wolves and home and away. It's looking bad now, but I think it's more than Pochettino. I honestly believe that.
That's true. No. Look, there are many issues at Chelsea. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of the players aren't very good. I think the way that the club's being run is atrocious. I think that Todd Bowley's the worst thing to have ever happened to Chelsea Football Club in a non-disastrous context. But we can still explore Pochettino's contribution to this team. Whatever you think of the players, whatever you think of the recruitment, whatever you think of the board, Chelsea should be in the top half of the Premier League.
Yeah, and page 2.
They're at home conceding 4 to Wolves that struggled last season scoring goals. It's a miracle that Gary Neal's getting goals out.
At the beginning of the season, we thought Wolves were going to go down. Lots of people, including Lopetegui, who was their manager,
so Rory,
I can't manage this lot, we're done here.
So you believe there's 10 other... Obviously, you're 11th in the league now. You believe there's 10 better managers than Pochettino in this league right now? Obviously, the league table's showing that, but do you believe that they are? Because I don't think so.
I think there's more than 10.
No way.
There are...
No.
I can't think of a manager that I would prefer to have at Chelsea than Mauricio Pochettino. I can't think of one...
His career's going down the drain at the moment. The way they're playing, man, it's almost inexcusable. He's downgrading his own... we talk about Pochettino going to Barcelona potentially or managing it at the highest level.
By the way, which he would do. It's very important to acknowledge that he is a man who prides himself and at least makes a statement that he's incredibly loyal. I would never manage Barcelona because of my links with Espanyol. Liar. Charlatan. Liar.
Take away
He's come to Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's meant to be a Tottenham man and all that.
If we take away the rationality of it, so let's just say, take away the Chelsea fan aspect of it, is it his last game?
Whoa, I'm terribly sorry to interrupt your viewing pleasure of the club, but I have to let you know something very important. You could win £250,000 simply by predicting 6 football scores correctly. All you need to do is click the link in the description below, download the Super 6 app. It will not cost you a penny. And if you predict 6 football scores correctly, you will win £250,000. It really is as simple as that. And if you finish top of our mini league, you will play for us versus Pitchside. Join our mini league. The code is Club23. Enjoy the rest of the clip. Yo.
No.
So you think that the logistics of getting rid of him won't happen?
It won't solve
until the
anything.
next game.
Who
No, I think there's a chance. It's so bad now, it would solve something, Miles. It
No,
would
it
solve
wouldn't.
something.
What, the
Honestly,
manager, but the new manager.
If Gary O'Neill can go into Wolves, they've barely got a striker.
Yeah.
They've got no money. They've had to sell everyone in the summer. They're bringing they're bringing different.
The question is,
players through.
who wants to go into Chelsea halfway through the season?
They'd
Through the season,
They'd have a queue. They'd have a queue.
Have a queue.
They'd have a queue.
Name me 2 managers.
They go
It's still
Frank.
one of the biggest It's still one of the biggest jobs in the world.
Name me 2 managers that will take this job right now.
Thomas Frank.
Jose Mourinho would.
Jose Mourinho.
And then anybody.
He's outside everyone's door.
Anybody
It's an incredible
at smaller
project.
clubs. Thomas Frank, De Zerbi, all of them.
You'll take Jose Mourinho back?
I mean, that's my dream. I'll do anything to
That's
get
a
Jose. I would do
nightmare.
anything to get
That's
Jose
not a
Mourinho back
dream.
now. I would
It's
do anything.
I can see why it's
It's a nightmare.
short term.
Mourinho comes back now, it would just be sensational. Immediately, the club would be
For us.
totally harmonious.
But you know, we said this a year ago with Lampard. We did say, and I backed you. I was like, Lampard's going to get him playing simple football, back in the youth. And it went, do you know what I mean? It went so bad, didn't it?
It did. But Jose Mourinho is very different.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Jose Mourinho is very different.
Jose
Like,
Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho's like the dream shout.
Jose Mourinho comes back to this league with Chelsea, with this team.
Love it.
Love it.
Like,
He's not even going to
But
break
Miles,
into
it
the
can't
top.
be someone young
What, gonna break into
mid-season.
the top-
Do you,
It can't be-
honestly,
it
do you
can't be
honestly
young.
think that?
He's finished,
Do you think
Rory.
Mauricio Pochettino is
He's
a
not
better
finished.
manager than Jose Mourinho?
Not necessarily, but I don't think
Mourinho's
Mourinho.
not finished.
I think he's finished in the Premier League. He's done.
But
He's
wait,
finished.
so do you think that Pochettino is better than Mourinho?
No, he's not right now. No,
So
he's not got.
it would be an upgrade.
It's
yeah,
not great.
yeah, but I wouldn't. It will be an upgrade, but. How much of an upgrade? What do you want to do, Chelsea? Do you want to challenge for the league? Do you want to get back into the Champions League, or do you just want to be about?
But
Because if you get Jose Mourinho, it's just going to be about.
Mid-season, though.
Surely the fact that he's better means that it's not as wild an appointment.
Yeah, but
as
you're 11th now, so what? Do you want to get to 8th? Because that's where Jose Mourinho is going to take you. You're not getting into
But
Champions
no
League.
other
with Jose
manager can get them
Mourinho-
anywhere.
Jose Mourinho.
What other manager could do it? Give a manager,
Better
take away their
managers.
contracts at their respective clubs. Give a manager, because Mourinho is a free agent, anyone. What would Guardiola do at Chelsea? There's so many gaps in that squad.
Guardiola will get them up.
Why would Jose
He's a better
Mourinho?
coach.
But why do you, if you think that Jose Mourinho is better than Pochettino, why do you think Jose Mourinho's ceiling is only 8th?
Because Jose
Nothing
Mourinho,
in Jose Mourinho's track record has suggested that 8th is his ceiling.
he's not getting into Champions League then. Or do you
Why not?
Yeah.
You're not. You're
His
not
time
with
at
Jose Mourinho.
Roma-
He's a
his
dinosaur.
time at Roma would be an
We've
issue,
seen
wouldn't
that.
it?
Hang on,
We've
this is
seen that with- at Tottenham.
there
We've
is
seen it.
ridiculous rewriting of Jose Mourinho's achievements in Italy.
Rory, his history is this there.
But he left Roma, 9th or whatever?
He left Roma 9th, having won their first European trophy for God knows how long. Their first bit of
He's
silverware
great in
for
a
2
cup
decades.
competition.
He's a cup
Their first-
manager.
He's a cup
Okay,
man.
Could
we've got a
argue.
cup final coming up.
Yeah.
Great.
You know me, I back you on the Mourinho shout.
The,
Do you know
the,
what I mean?
other, the other thing, can we just remember?
I'd
wait,
love to. Jose Mourinho, please come to Chelsea Football Club.
but Miles, it's
I'd love
contradictory
it.
what you're saying. You're saying that he's better than Pochettino,
But he's
it
not
would be
that much
wild.
better than Rory. He's not that much
Okay,
better.
tell me-
Mid-season.
But why not?
You can't change your philosophy mid-season.
we've
So
seen it
you think
at
that Jose
Tottenham.
Mourinho's ceiling at Chelsea is 8th?
6th at best. You're not getting into Champions League. And for someone
not.
like your,
But we're not getting into
yourself,
Champions
But
League
no
anyway,
manager
though.
is, Miles. What manager would be?
Oh, God. So if Jose Mourinho comes now and you're 11th now, where does he take? What would be satisfying for you?
Win the cup against
You're not
Liverpool
winning that
rather
cup
than get
against
battered.
Liverpool. You're not.
Rather
Rory.
than just get battered.
They could.
Respectfully, they're not. They're not.
They nearly beat him in the
Respectfully,
cup twice in the League Cup and FA
but
Cup.
again, with Jose Mourinho in charge, it's very difficult to write. It's very difficult to say that. With Pochettino, somebody who you've seen lose final after final,
Yeah.
you can totally legitimately say you're not winning that final, and I couldn't say much. But with Jose Mourinho, somebody who you've seen repeatedly win cup final after cup final,
Yeah.
it's quite difficult for you to go. You're not winning that cup final with Mourinho in charge.
With his players. I don't
Yeah.
see Jose Mourinho coming halfway. Jose Mourinho doesn't do with.
They got a better
doesn't
chance
do
in the
good-
League Cup final with Mourinho at the helm.
What, because Jose Mourinho's on the touchline?
Yeah.
No.
That's a factor. Cup finals are huge.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
He's finished.
But what do you want from Chelsea?
What
They
does
can't
finished
philosophically
mean? What-
change
so
mid-season.
you think
He's
he's
a
better than
dinosaur.
Pochettino? Again, he's a dinosaur. He's finished. He's better than Pochettino.
Yeah, but brother, he could be better than Pochettino. I'm thinking for you, Rory.
Right, but you
Chelsea
can't-
Football Club.
But do you think
You-
that, do you
you-
think
you
that
see your team up
Pochettino's
here.
finished?
Pochettino.
Yeah.
It was looking like he's finished right now. Yeah, he is. But
And do you think he's a
But your
dinosaur?
replacement is Jose Mourinho. That's
Right.
who you want. I'm saying that's not an improvement. And if it is, it's bare minimum.
It's not an improvement long term. We're saying I think what I think is 6 months.
But he wants him for next
remainder of
season.
the
He wants him. at his club. That's crazy.
I think long term, he obviously wouldn't be any. He wouldn't be.
I understand he was a great
successful.
manager.
Yeah.
Get Jose Mourinho.
It feels very contradictory because you're saying that he's finished. He's a dinosaur, but he's better than the manager that is currently at Chelsea. That you think Chelsea shouldn't swap him
because the manager you got right now is not doing that great. You're 11th, so I believe that the next manager you get, i.e. Jose Mourinho, if you get him, he will take you probably to 6th, 8th to 6th. Which is a huge improvement. Yeah, but for Chelsea Football Club, Rory, you've seen your team win everything.
We're not. I mean, 6 is probably our ceiling with our squad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but he's an elite manager comparing to what you're saying. He's a great manager, right? So he should be taking you to that next level.
No, but the squad isn't capable of competing with the teams that are up there. We haven't got a squad that's good
Jurgen Klopp wouldn't take them to first. Jurgen Klopp would get this.
Not. Exactly. But I don't think Jose Mourinho will take them anywhere near the competing, even if the season after. But
it's Todd Bowley's fault that they're in this mess. They spent Bill Quinn. They got no one that can bang in goals. They got 40-year-old centre back. That's Todd Bowley's fault. That's not necessarily all Pochettino's fault or Graham Potter. They contributed on the pitch. They shouldn't be losing 4 at home to Wolves. No, would Mourinho improve Chelsea's season right now? I think the answer is yes. Long term, would he be a viable solution? Long term,
it'll make them harder to beat.
I don't think so.
It'll make them harder to beat.
I think long term. You know, when you say long term, with Mourinho, it's never that. But at the moment, we can't see beyond the end of our nose anyway. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter about long term. The long term for us is going into that cup final with a prayer.
Win it.
And with Jose Mourinho in charge, I think it would immediately improve us. If you think about his record, you know when people sort of dismiss it and go, "Oh, he's finished" or whatever. I just think it's so disrespectful.
He's finished.
He's one of the only.
Define finished.
He's finished.
So he's won silverware more recently than Arteta.
In this league.
So he's won silverware more recently.
In the Italian league, fine. You could do it with Roma. That's great. And I'm not taking anything away from that. In this league, the EPL, the English Premier League, he's finished.
But what is that? Okay, tell me why.
He's finished.
Based on what?
To win the Premier League.
He's tactically, all the tactics nowadays for Jose Mourinho, all this four.
So you think that Jose Mourinho, the man who won European
5 midfielders, 3 at the back, he's finished.
I don't think he won't win the league.
You don't think that? No, of course not. But that's not the point.
They don't even make top 4 with Jose Mourinho. They don't even make top 4. They don't even sniff it. They don't sniff it.
I think it's so funny to say that Jose Mourinho's finished. Like he's a man who is arguably the best manager to have ever lived in his prime.
Yeah,
Mourinho, 03 to 06, is arguably the best manager. If you're taking people's peaks, maybe you say Sir Alex Ferguson's peak, 08, 07 to 09, maybe the peak of Fergie, maybe 99.
So Wenger,
you take Wenger 04, you take Guardiola now. You take Klopp a couple of years back.
2019.
His whole life.
Right? You take managers at their peak.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho at his peak is arguably the best of the lot.
And I do not disagree.
And yet, 2 decades later, we're saying that he is finished. And then we bring into the fact that he has won silverware more recently than, say, Arteta. Mm-hmm. He came very close to winning more silverware the following year as a penalty kick away.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
let me ask you.
Hang on. Italian clubs, Italy, great league, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last Italian team to win European silverware was who? Roma, I think. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
The last.
Was it a conference?
Who was the
conference?
Who was the Italian team? Who was the Italian team to? Who was the last Italian team prior to that to win silverware?
For you, Miles. I know the answer.
In any European competition.
Yeah, any before Roma with Mourinho.
The last Italian team, not with Mourinho.
No, yeah, but
just the
before that.
Just the last Italian team to win silverware prior to Roma winning silverware. So the great league, Serie A is sensational league.
I could probably tell you this. I'd say it's AC Milan, probably.
No, it was Inter Milan, Jose Mourinho. So the last 2 times, the last 2 times that an Italian club has won silverware in Europe, you think about the rich tapestry of Italian football. It's the same geezer. And then
that was then, though.
And then we sit.
That was then.
And then we sit down, right?
That's when
people like me and you sit
then.
down and we're like, that guy's finished.
Yeah, he's finished.
I just don't get it.
Right, let me ask you a question.
What does finish mean? Is he finished at the height?
In the Premier League,
is he in his prime
yes.
to win a Premier League title against Guardiola? No, of course not.
You can't compete.
Can he win a cup with Chelsea? Yeah, I think he
could. You can nick a cup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you then.
FA Cup.
I agree with you.
Okay, cool. We could do that. But
he won't win a Champions League again. I'm just going off
the standard of Chelsea.
Yeah, he won't win a Champions League again.
They've won Premier Leagues. They compete. So I'm saying if Chelsea want to get back to that level,
winning the Premier League,
we're not winning the. That's not who we are.
No, it's not.
Do you think? Hang on a minute. Do you think Pochettino's the man? So okay, you want to. For Chelsea to be who we want to be, competing for leagues, winning two Champions League.
Pochettino.
We've got Pochettino.
Yeah, but you're going back
a man who's a serial loser. I need a man who's a loser, like an actual loser. I don't mean it in the emotional sense of the word loser. I don't mean like in the playground you're a loser. I mean the geezer loses. He loses games. He loses things. He gets to finals. He loses. He gets to semi-finals. He loses. When you're talking about these Chelsea standards, you're saying we can't bring Mourinho in because it's not the Chelsea standard. The geezer we got is a fucking loser.
But you're going off past history. I get it. He's a winner. He's a serial winner. He's been winning his whole career. We get it. But the way how football has evolved now, Jose Mourinho has not evolved.
So Jose Mourinho hasn't evolved.
No,
but Mauricio
Rory,
Pochettino's
hasn't evolved, has he?
He hasn't. We saw him
I love Mourinho more than most.
When you say he hasn't evolved,
neutral
again,
fans.
I just think it's Booth. I think you're doing it. I think it's so disrespectful.
He hasn't evolved.
Of course, as a man as well versed and poetic in football as he is, of course he can reimagine his tactics. Of course he can.
I genuinely have not seen.
You can't
seen
win
him,
European silverware without having an understanding of the modern game.
and he hasn't won. Okay, he hasn't won the. Okay, we talk about the silverware. He hasn't won the Champions League for a decade. He hasn't won a league title for nearly close
He
to that
won
as well.
Manchester United's most recent.
Let's talk about the serious trophies
No,
here.
because
the
we're not-
Premier League and the
And that's
Champions
cup
League.
competition.
But it's irrelevant.
Because even
You're
Arteta's
talking
won a
about
cup.
Mourinho's greatness, which I believe in
But
firmly,
we're not.
1,000,000%.
Okay, Mourinho, from the man that Mourinho was in 06, he isn't today.
No.
But to suggest that he isn't still totally capable
Of winning
and one
your
of the
league
best
cup?
managers in the
Of
world,
course.
of course he is.
I believe
course
that.
he is.
But in
Like-
terms of that progressive, where the future of football's going, and Jurgen Klopp's still at the precipice, you could say someone like De Zerbi's doing it at a much smaller level. Where football's going, Mourinho absolutely has not adapted in the last 10 years.
No,
And
he
he's had a lot of success, even getting Man United trophies with the Europa League. It was all a formulation that hasn't
And they
really
won the League
changed
Cup,
since
didn't they?
2010. Yeah.
And they won the League Cup.
Yeah.
I think that we're all being really sneery
We're
to
not.
silverware. I mean, we are.
Okay. Just looking at it for what it is right now. If you could take, and it's not going to happen. If you could take Alonso right now from what he's doing at Bayer Leverkusen, or Jose Mourinho to take you over for the next 6 months, who would you rather take? And forget the nostalgia. Just
No, but nostalgia's relevant. No, but it's
pure
completely
basis
relevant.
of football. Someone who can progress these
It's
players.
completely relevant because Xavi Alonso is Liverpool. Xavi Alonso.
No, I'm not talking about.
But Xavi Alonso represents Liverpool. He is Liverpool personified.
No, I'm just talking
You
about
can't-
his
it'd be like
philosophy.
me- it'd be like me-
the way how he plays football, the way how he's progressing with these young group of players, the way he's.
It doesn't have to be Alonso as the Liverpool. Let's say Alonso.
Okay, De Zerbi.
De Zerbi.
De Zerbi-
Neutral manager.
Let's
talk about young manager. A young manager.
any
that's
young
coming
manager.
up.
Thomas Frank.
Xavi Alonso couldn't be more like. There's a history with Chelsea with the Frank Lampard issue
Talk about
with
the football,
Xavi.
Rory.
No,
The football,
just as a
forget-
manager.
You brought up a lot. If you
just-
don't want me
that's
to make it relevant to Xavi Alonso, don't bring him up.
Let's do De Zerbi.
Okay,
Let's do
just
De
do
Zerbi.
Zerbi. I'm just talking about football style. I'm just saying this is how outdated
I
Jose
think
Mourinho
it's
is
sad
with
that
these new
Chelsea are in a
managers.
position where we're even talking about Mourinho. It's a damning indictment on how bad Todd Bowley is. It should be Xabi Alonso. It should be Thomas Frank taking Chelsea forward for the next 5 years.
See, this is again. I think this is bonkers to me. You think about Jose Mourinho and who he is and what he's done in the game, and then people go, "You'd be better off with Thomas Frank." That idiot. What on earth? How on earth can anyone think that you're better off with Thomas Frank, a geezer who has done all right?
But don't say long term, Morris. I'm saying long. You know my opinion on this. Right now, if I wanted Thomas Frank or Jose Mourinho in the dugout at the League Cup final, obviously it's Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
But Chelsea have got a young side that you spent £1 billion on. You need a futuristic manager that is moving with the times.
And going off his history, he doesn't do well with young
Mourinho on the
players.
touchline for
He
Roma.
buys good players.
He's left them 9th in the league, one of the lowest ever points per game ratios Roma have had in the last 20 years. He's a cup manager. When he's on the touchline berating the ref, and you know me, I love berating the refs. That looked old school. That looked like someone from 1999 doing that. He looked way out of touch, man.
He's out of touch.
He is out of touch. He hasn't adapted. And Guardiola, we'll be doing the club in 10 years.
It's ageism.
It's
I
not.
hope you're proud of
But in
yourself.
10 years' time, hopefully we're doing the club, and I can say Guardiola's trying 4-3-3, and we're playing Thiago Motta's 2-5-3 formation.
Yeah.
I'm like, Guardiola is a cup manager. We'll be saying the same
Prejudice.
thing. Yeah, it's an ageism thing.
It's ageism. Mate, help the aged, man.